Hello, my name's Shalice. Welcome out everyone to my ranking of the Smackdown Women's Champions. We're ranking the first champion, Becky Lynch, all the way to Bayley. We're ranking all the Smackdown Women's Champions that we had in this history. And the reason why I'm doing this video is because we're having Money in the Bank in less than 2 weeks. And I want to be ranking all the women that hold the Smackdown title. And I will be doing a Raw's Championship. I will be doing an NXT Championship rankings and all that stuff. So let's start off with the worst of the champions of the SmackDown. Natalya. She beat Naomi for the championship, defended against Naomi, and then immediately lost to Charlotte Flair. The reason why she beat Naomi was so Charlotte could go into Natalya and they could have that old rivalry between the Hart and the freaking... It's an old rivalry that takes place between the Hart Foundation with Natalya and Charlotte all the way since NXT, since Charlotte beat Natalya for the NXT Women's Championship for the first time. And this was just another rivalry between these two, and it was just right there so Charlotte could get another victory. Natalya didn't do nothing for this championship. She gained it from Naomi, defended against Naomi, then she immediately lost it to Charlotte. There was no point to Natalya's reign. Natalya's reign lasted just it lasted 80 days. So, like 86 days, so... Quite disappointing for Charlotte's reign. I mean, not Charlotte's, Natalya's reign. Number 7, it's going to be Naomi. I like Naomi. I like her a lot. But her reign as champion, they didn't do nothing with her. They didn't let her speak on the mic. The only person she fought against was... Okay, she had 2 reigns. First time she beat Alexa Bliss in the Elimination Chamber, which was a great rivalry. And then she had to vacate the title because of injury. Then she came back like in a month, and then she won a title again from Alexa Bliss. And then she just feuded with Layla. And the problem is, though, Layla was green during that time. I think Layla got better as a wrestler, but they didn't use her anymore after she was drafted to Raw. And Naomi, she had to work with building somebody up who's green. A champion is supposed to go against someone who's worthy of the championship, not to help someone get over for being a rookie and all that stuff. The rookie's supposed to advance later on and then become a great challenger for the champion. But Naomi didn't have a great reign. They didn't let her speak on the mic. They just let her do her dance moves, and that was it. Then she looked pretty. Naomi, I mean, she won against, she also beat, what was it? She beat Alexa twice, then she feuded with Lana. Then she loses to Natalya. I did not appreciate what they did with Naomi as a wrestler. She's a great wrestler, and if this was a ranking about the female wrestlers, Naomi would be higher. But we're making this video because we're trying to rank the champions of SmackDown and really setting them up differently at how the reign was, how they got to it. The chase of the championships are always great, but the reign is what matters. Sadly, Naomi's reign didn't amount to anything. Number 6 is Carmella. Yes, Carmella. This is the woman who cashed Money in the Bank on Charlotte, which made everybody so happy. Here's the thing. She had more to do for her reigns than both Naomi and Natalya combined. One, she competed against, let me go over my freaking notes again. I remember that she cashed in the Money in the Bank against Charlotte. She had a terrible feud with Asuka. The problem is, though, with Carmella is they gave her a lot of time to talk on the mic. They gave her a lot of in-ring work and some of her feuds. It's just Carmella's not that good in the ring. If we could switch Naomi versus Naomi and Carmella right there, and Naomi was fighting Asuka, that would have been a much more believable story. But we get Carmella versus Asuka, and then one in the Sharkade match for James Ellsworth. I mean, this was anything was better after Charlotte did not have the title. But Carmella winning the championship didn't really do much. She was still going with that Fabulous, that terrible theme song she still has. She had, what she really did for me as a champion was how much she improved in the ring against Becky and Charlotte in a triple threat match. Even though she lost that match and lost her title, she to me, did a very good job in that ring. And I'm like, where's this other Carmella that we've been seeing? Finally, we're seeing her, and then she loses the title. I'm like, this is what we need more. But to me, Carmella could have been a good champion and an okay champion if they gave her something to work with, just like Naomi, but they didn't do shit with them. So, 6, Carmella. Number 5, Charlotte Flair. I do not care if she's a 5-time champion. None of her reigns are memorable. The last she's a 5-time SmackDown Women's Champion. Her last 4 reigns don't even add up to what? Let me see. I wrote right here. What is it, like 46 days combined? She only had the championship for 46 days combined total of her 4 fucking reigns. A month and 2 weeks she's had with each of the combined reigns of her 4 championships for SmackDown. Her first reign was her best. Her first reign was her only kind of good reign. That was only a little bit. She beat Becky for the championship. She had a feud with Becky for a bit. And then that's pretty much it. She didn't really do much else. I mean, she had a feud with Becky. She beat Natalya for the title. She fought against Ruby Riott. And that's pretty much it. She didn't really have a good reign. It's just, the Queen, Charlotte Flair, is around. But to me, Charlotte didn't do much with the title. And to me, she was a piss-poor SmackDown Women's Champion. And they kept getting her the championship for political points. She's ruined so many other wrestlers' speed as champions that she ruined, to me, Carmella. She, to me, is responsible for Natalya winning the championship. She's responsible for Naomi losing the championship. She's responsible, to me, for Carmella losing the championship, which she was. And then she's also responsible for losing Asuka in so many cases. I mean, Charlotte has an effect on each champion of this entire ranking of 8 people. She has an effect on each one. But Charlotte, number 5. Do not care for Charlotte Flair and her political agendas that we have with her. Greatest wrestler, my ass. Greatest female wrestler, my ass. 4 is Asuka. I liked Asuka as champion. I mean, I enjoyed her work a bit in NXT. I'm not really a big Asuka mark like most people are, but I like Asuka. I think she's a good champion. I thought she was, for the most part, pretty good champion at the beginning with SmackDown. She defended the title a bit more. She beat Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair in a triple threat match, in a triple TLC match, and Ronda Rousey helped her interfere, but she got the title. But then she beat Becky Lynch and submitted her in a Royal Rumble. That was great. I loved it. That shows strength of a character that Asuka is so strong she was able to submit Becky Lynch. That was great. She also beat, well, let me see, writing notes. She also fought against Naomi, Mandy Rose. She did a pretty good stuff for the number of days she's been champion, but she only had 1 reign. And guess who she lost to? Charlotte Flair. So Charlotte could hold that title for 18 days so you can have a triple threat match at WrestleMania for Ronda, Becky, and Charlotte for a political agenda to get Becky 2 belts. Why couldn't Asuka hold the title all this time? But no. I would have had Asuka versus Charlotte at WrestleMania and the revenge of Asuka beating Charlotte. But then again, you had to get Charlotte another victory. She had to defeat Asuka's undefeated streak, and she also had to take the title from Asuka. And Asuka has been irrelevant since. So, for Asuka. Number 3 is Alexa Bliss. Alexa Bliss was the 2nd SmackDown Women's Champion ever. And she had a great feud with Becky Lynch. She took the title from Becky Lynch in TLC 2016 and defeated her, but her drew a table. It had a great rivalry growing between her and Becky. And it lasted through a good amount of time. And the rivalry was good. But the thing is with Alexa Bliss, they did great on SmackDown Live in 2016. And since SmackDown Live was great overall in 2016, they really progressed Alexa Bliss as a character, as a villain, as a heel, and they did that. They gave her mic work, they gave her skill work, they gave her a lot of good stuff. They had a returning Mickie James help her to defeat Becky Lynch in a steel cage match on SmackDown. The one main event of the show. I was ecstatic for Alexa Bliss' reign. It was always entertaining, always fun. Then she lost the championship to Naomi, and then Naomi got injured, and Alexa Bliss became the champion again by beating Becky Lynch for the SmackDown championship, and then she lost it to Naomi like 20 days later in WrestleMania. And the reason why that shit happened is because, oh shit, thunder. But the reason why that shit happened is because Naomi got injured and no one expected Naomi to get injured. But, so to me, Alexa Bliss as a champion of SmackDown was elevating the title, was elevating the division, and to me, she was a great heel. She was a heel of SmackDown. She was the MVP of SmackDown for 2016. All how Charlotte and Sasha had their constant going feud back and forth between the Raw Women's Championship. But Alexa Bliss was a standout to me for the SmackDown Women's division, and she was a standout as a champion. She was a good champion, in my opinion. Now, the 2 best is number 2, Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch was the first SmackDown Women's Champion. She lost the title to Alexa Bliss, but she held the titles for 3 times. The second time is when she was going through this undefeated streak and she became the champion, and she beat Charlotte Flair for the championship. She had a feud with Charlotte Flair. She was feuding a bit with let me just don't make sure. A feud with Ronda Rousey. She was elevating not only the women's division but also as a feud, and she was getting over organically, which was nice. I love Becky Lynch. She's at SmackDown Women's Champion. She did a great job, and then she eventually lost the title because Ronda Rousey interfered. And the story of Ronda Rousey as a champion and always defending the not Ronda Rousey, but the fact that Ronda Rousey interfered with Becky Lynch's match always kept Becky Lynch interesting. And then she won the championship again at WrestleMania. She became Becky 2 belts. She had the Raw Women's Championship and the SmackDown Women's Championship. But the thing is, though, with her character, she defended the title until she lost it to Charlotte Flair. She defended both titles against. She defended her Raw Championship against Layla. Then she lost to Charlotte, and then Bayley stole the win with the Money in the Bank contract. But Becky Lynch as a SmackDown champion, she elevated the division. She reached the women that these women are not just like pretty females like Alexa Bliss or as athletic as Naomi, but they are fighting champions, and that's what Becky was. She was a fighting champion for SmackDown. Second best. But my absolute favorite SmackDown champion right now is the current WWE SmackDown Women's Champion, Bayley. The reason why Bayley is the best SmackDown Women's Champion is not because of how long her reign is. It's because how they slowly progressed her. When she was drafted over to SmackDown in 2019, she had this chip like, I'm not going to deal with I'm moving on past Monday Night Raw, all the hugs, all the stuff we're dealing with. The Boston Hug connection of them losing the tag team titles, dealing with Alexa Bliss, Bayley is my Bayley's life or whatever that crap was. But the fact is that Bayley came in with chip on her shoulder. She wanted to elevate the SmackDown Women's division. She was constantly trying to elevate the SmackDown Women's division. She was slowly starting to turn heel. She was getting more aggressive, more serious in her roles. She fought against Ember Moon, Payne Royce, and Sonya Deville. I had a whole name right here, Sonya Deville. She even fought Alexa Bliss in the cross for the championship for SmackDown. She cashed in the Money Banks on Charlotte. She pinned Charlotte. She lost the title again. She turned heel by attacking Becky Lynch on Raw, even though she was SmackDown Women's Champion, and then she aligned herself, and she was slowly becoming more and more like a heel. And Bayley was just a great heel, in my opinion. And when she lost to, well, not just yet, but when she lost the title to Charlotte Flair and then got it back on the next episode of SmackDown, a week later, again, Charlotte fucking Flair always had to take one more title away from people. Bayley transformed, and then she cut her hair, she destroyed her Bayley's butt. She wanted to be something more, and she became a dastardly heel, attacking Lacey Evans' daughter, and all. Not attacking Lacey Evans' daughter, but like verbally attacking her. She fought against Naomi. Now she's in this feud with Tamina. She's saying, I'm a role model for all you people. Bayley as a heel is great. She's dastardly, she's cowardly, and she's a very desperate champion. I like what they were doing with Bayley. I'm still liking what they're doing with Bayley. And that's why she's the best SmackDown Women's Champion, because she's defending her titles constantly each and every day, and she's asking people to step up. Her promo work is good. I'm liking what they're doing with right now with Sasha Banks teasing Sasha Banks and Bayley one more time. And please make sure this feud does great, and I cannot wait for this entire feud to start off. But Bayley, to me, is the best SmackDown Women's Champion in the history of SmackDown Live's Women's Champions. She's one of the best female workers right now in WWE, and to me, she's the best SmackDown Women's Champion. A lot of people will probably put Becky over Bayley, but to me, I'd rather have Bayley as champion any day over Becky Lynch, because at least with Bayley, I could always safe to say that they're never going to push Bayley for a political agenda. They push Becky for a political agenda. They'll push Charlotte for a political agenda. They'll push Alexa Bliss for a political agenda, but not Bayley. Bayley's not their type. And that's why I like Bayley. Bayley, number one, is favorite SmackDown Women's Champion. But let me know what y'all think, everyone. Subscribe if you like. Discreet on bomb, like comment below. Let me know. Respect my opinion, respect yours. What's your personal rank on the SmackDown Women's Champions? Where would you rank them? You think Carmella should be last? You think Charlotte Flair should be last? Or you think Naomi is an undeserving person? She should be a lot higher on the rankings. But what's your personal opinion, everybody? Named Jaleesa, and everybody. Bye.